Ella, are you ready to cook up tender, succulent lamb that literally melts in your mouth? This lamb Kleftiko recipe is ridiculously easy to prepare, and you're gonna be blown away by how this just literally will fall off the bone. Infused with aromatic herbs and spices, cooked to perfection, this Greek dish is going to become a weekly tradition in your kitchen. And I can't wait for you to blow your family and friends away with this at your next dinner. Now, the cut of meat that we're working with today is the lamb shoulder. I've got 2.5 kilos here, expertly cut into fist-sized chunks from my friendly neighborhood butcher. To me, this cut is the ultimate choice for slow cooking. Packed with just the right amount of fat, it undergoes a wild transformation during the cooking process. Now I'm preparing this lamb Kleftiko in this dish here. It's 39 centimeters long by 31 centimeters wide. Now the size doesn't have to be exact, but it's crucial to find something similar for this amount of meat, because you want this dish to comfortably hold all the lamb and the vegetables nicely together to evenly distribute the juices and marinade throughout. What I've got here is extra wide parchment paper, and you're gonna wanna use enough to do 2 layers on this. Put the first paper on the bottom this way, and now for the second, we're gonna go across lengthwise as so. This double layer will help contain all the meat and the liquids without any leaks. Plus, it makes it a breeze at the end to clean up. Next up, we're just gonna grab our lamb and we're gonna start placing all of this inside the dish here. One piece at a time, don't just dump this in, okay? And now we're gonna start adding the vegetables into here. So to kick things off, I've got 4 medium-sized potatoes here. I'm just gonna cut these into quarters and we're gonna add them in with the lamb. These potatoes are gonna soak up so much juice and be packed so full of flavor, you're gonna lose it. So next up, we're gonna grab 1 large red onion. Red ones are my favorite. I'm gonna cut it into 8 pieces or so and throw it in there as well. And while we've got the onion, mate, it's all about the flavor here. Lastly, I've got 1 whole garlic here. We're gonna clean it up, get all the cloves out, chop them up a little bit if they're a little bit big. And again, simple, we're just going to sprinkle it everywhere. It's gonna fall to the bottom, beautiful. Next up, we're gonna elevate the flavors even further, okay? We've got here 1 cup of liquid gold, Greek olive oil. This isn't just for moisture, it's a staple in Greek cooking, and it's gonna help us achieve that beautifully rich texture that we're aiming for. Now we're gonna grab ourselves some lemons, I'm gonna slice them up, and we're just going to squeeze the juices all over the top here. Pour, 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 pour. Mate, killer. The citrusy brightness is gonna cut through the richness, adding that little bit of extra zing to every bite, mate. You're gonna love it. Now, once everything's in this dish, we're gonna start giving it a gentle mix. You wanna ensure that all the ingredients are coated in that beautiful olive oil and lemon juice blend. But be careful with your mixing. You wanna be really gentle so we don't rip any of this parchment paper. Now we're gonna infuse our dish with a killer mix of herbs and spices. So first up, I've got some fresh rosemary here. I'll clean it up and I want to sprinkle it evenly over the dish. I love rosemary with lamb. It's got that killer earthy aroma and it blends well with it. Next, with our seasoning blend, we've got our salt here, pepper, oregano, and one of my favorites, paprika. I'm gonna start off by adding just half of this blend inside, and then we're gonna give it a really good mix, ensuring every ingredient gets its moment to shine. And then I'll add in the other half just to guarantee even distribution throughout the dish. Start with the salt, back on with the pepper. We're gonna finish the other half of our oregano. And lastly, you guessed it, the rest of the paprika. And that last mix again. Guys, if you smell this, it'll send your taste buds flying there. At this point now, what I'm doing as well, I'm rearranging it into their final positions in the baking tray, just to make sure it's all nice and even, spread out well. And now for the extra punch of flavor, we're just gonna layer inside 1 bunch of fresh thyme. It's just gonna add that little bit more depth to it. And honestly, who doesn't like thyme? Finally, to top it off, I've got 5 fresh bay leaves here. I'm just gonna scatter them over the top. Their subtle aromatic essence is just gonna be slowly infusing through the dish as it cooks. Now, honestly, how good does this look? Oof. I'm telling you, I actually can't wait to eat this. But before we seal the deal, I'm gonna be adding inside 1/3 cup of water. But we wanna be strategic about where we place it. Aim for the corners, not directly over the lamb, because we wanna keep those flavors right where they belong. And as you can see, still, these have come up the sides and there's no juice penetrating to the bottom layer. It's completely sealed off, and it's housing it beautifully. So we're gonna start with closing the top layer. So I'll tuck this one over, like so. Just press it down gently. Now the other side, that's it. And lastly, with the parchment paper, you fold the outer layers on top. Lovely. And as a final touch, we're just gonna cover this dish with aluminium foil. Like always, we're gonna do our stuff raw, pop this into the oven, and we'll see you in 4.5 hours. All right, guys, it has been 4.5 hours. I'm hungry. I've even got a quick haircut. It's time to go to the oven, pull this bad boy out, and have a look, see how this lamb Kleftiko's turned out. I'll open this up. I don't know if you can hear, simmering in there, bubbling. Have a look at that. So this has not been uncovered until this point. I haven't even looked at it. It's buzzing. The flavors, I can see them jumping up at me. The juices are bouncing. It looks incredible. I can't wait. I'm gonna play around with it now. I wanna show you what this looks like. So, have a look here. Look at that. I told you it literally falls off the bone. It just breaks. Absolutely. Just breaks upon itself. It literally just dissolved on my tongue. No chew, it melted and then went straight down. That's literally what you can expect if you make this dish. You know, bones just dropping out. Guys, you have to try this. You're gonna love it. Let me know how you go. See you in the next video, all right? Yassas.